Hi there, my name is Lo. Welcome to my channel where I discuss everything between Hermes and grocery bags. Today I am doing the FOMO bag tag. I've been tagged by Danny from This is Danny O. So Danny, thank you so much for the tag. Danny's channel and her video will be linked down below. And it's basically a tag in which people describe what bags they got out of fear of missing out. Fear of missing out can be very much related to sort of a supply-demand issue, that the supply is only limited and you know that a lot of people are going to dive upon it. And that was not really something I could relate to all that much. But of course, I have my own sort of crazy when it comes to FOMO, and that's what I wanted to discuss in this video. So whenever things are very, very popular, and popular in the extent that it actually drives up demand very highly, which sometimes in turn also turns up the prices of items, for example, on the resale market, that already kind of turns me off for some reason. If a lot of people want something, I personally don't really feel like I need to get it too. I don't really know what it is. So at least that is good, and I'm really not willing to overpay for items, even to the extent that now on the pre-loved market, I would be kind of reluctant to pay more for an item than its original cost, like 20 years ago or however old the bag is. But whenever I'm looking for a bag or if I'm looking at a bag, I do have this consideration of when will I be able to buy this again for the same price, or will I have an opportunity to pay a lower price? Because I am very much a bargain hunter when it comes to my handbags. And I think that's pretty normal because a lot of the brands that I buy, they do go on sale. So over here I have 4 different handbags, and I want to discuss the 4 different reasons why I did decide to get them at the point in time where I decided to get them. So let's start off with this one closest to me. It's the Marc Jacobs, the tote bag in the mini size, they call it nowadays. I think it used to be the micro, but they keep on adding and then rebranding all of their sizes. So when this came out, I definitely knew that I needed to have the size because I already had all of the other sizes, and yeah, it's become a collection. So I definitely wanted to add this one also because it is just a very, very convenient size for me. However, I also absolutely wanted to get this one in argan oil. And the first time around, they didn't actually launch it in this color, but in the second release, also of course after one price increase, they did finally come out with the argan oil. And I basically hunted it down until I could get it with a discount. And I think that discount was only 20%, so a lot less than what I would usually settle for. But in this case, my FOMO really kicked in because I knew I wanted to have this bag in this color. It was super popular also, so stock was running out, and I was already kind of happy to get it with a discount. If I would have wanted to have this bag in any other color, I definitely would have waited. And assuming that this is a color that they would keep in their assortment, I suppose I could have waited for it, but I just really, really, really wanted to have this bag, and I don't have it all that often that I really just feel like I cannot do any discounting in my head, that I just want to have it now in the spur of the moment. So I really try to avoid having those sort of FOMO feelings, but I just wanted to have it ASAP, and I figured with myself, okay, if I can get this for sort of any kind of discount, even if it's not a big one, then I will just snatch this up and get it. And when I got it, I pulled off the tags immediately, which I usually also didn't do, but I just knew that given this bag was perfectly fine quality-wise, there was just no way that it was going back. So yeah, definitely really had fear of just not having this in my collection for this particular one. Then moving on to the second one. This is the J.W. Anderson Pierce bag, and don't mind the strap on this. This is not the strap that it comes with, but this is the strap that I use for storage because I do hang this, because this bag pretty much has no way of setting it down in a stable manner. This is one of the first designer bags that I fell in love with, and I know it's very funny because this bag had like its 2 hot seconds and then it pretty much immediately went off the radar again. But for me, it has sort of a very nostalgic feeling to it, that when I actually started collecting handbags. This was one that I really wanted to have, and I wanted to have it like in the original size. I have a smaller size too, but it's not quite the same. So I absolutely wanted to have this. And I also don't do a lot of pre-loved buying, also related to the fact that supply is not great here. So I saw this website, it's called Glamoot. I think actually, well, this bag came from Glamoot, and also my Ferragamo bag came from there. I'm not sure about, I forgot where I got the MCM bag from. I think from another place. But in any case, I feel like Glamoot sometimes just buys up old stock or something from boutiques in Italy, and they just then try to sell it online. And I will let you know why I think that when I get to the Ferragamo bag as well. But in any case, this came up on the Glamoot website. They had it in black and in a dark blue and in a red. And I had been eyeing and eyeing and eyeing this bag for a very long time because I wanted to see it go down in price. Like I'm definitely not paying full price for this as much as I love this bag. But Glamoot also quite often has offers of an additional 20, 25% or even 30% off. So at the time where they had the 30% off offer and I saw that there was only like 1 or 2 of these left, I decided to snatch it up. So that was a fear that was really driven by the fact that they don't make these bags anymore, and the odds of me getting one if I wasn't going to snatch it up at that point in time were just very, very low. So in this case, the question of am I going to be able to get this bag at a later point in time for a same or lower price, I just thought probably not. And I also don't really see these bags being sold anywhere anymore. Also not even on websites like Glamoot. And I think the other one is Joox, actually, Joox. That's also a website where I tend to get a lot of my discounted bags from. They also ship from Italy. Then moving on to my MCM Anna bag. Again, don't mind the strap because I'm just grabbing these bags from storage, and I tend to keep the strap on this because it's very hard to remove and put back on again. But in any case, a third reason for me having FOMO is that sometimes I absolutely need to get something in a particular color, and if the color is seasonal, I sometimes just get FOMO that, yeah, it's not going to be there anymore, they're not going to produce it anymore, kind of similar to the J.W. Anderson bag, but that had gone completely out of production, obviously. For this bag, I absolutely wanted to have it in this particular color. It's like a purple type of blue. They also have it in red and in a tan, and I think also in black. They also have it with the MCM logoing, so it's definitely not the case that this bag has gone completely out of production, but it was just this color for me or nothing. So also again hunted this down for a amount of money that I was comfortable with. Honestly, I don't really recall how much discount I had on it, but definitely at least 50%. And then at some point in time, I also decided I just had to snatch it up. And then the last bag, again, don't mind the strap. I'm just leaving the strap always on this bag because it's not all that easy to remove. This is the Ferragamo Box YC bag in the mini size, and this is one that has both calfskin but also exotics on the front. So this bag I got off Glamoot, as I already said, and I have been eyeing it for a pretty long time, but it was quite expensive. I wasn't really all that much into Ferragamo back then, and it was, or it is, a very small bag, and in my mind I always try to keep sort of a limit in terms of how much am I going to spend on a mini bag. So I think at the original price that I saw it at, it was already pretty well discounted, although I don't recall the original price I saw it at. So I watched this for a very long time, kind of fell in love with it online. But then again, Glamoot had one of these 30% extra offers, and that's when I decided to snatch this one up. So in this case, the FOMO was primarily driven by price, because did I really need to get this specific bag? It was not so much on my wish list. I wasn't really looking at it anywhere else either. It was just this one bag on this one particular website in this one particular style that was like, oh, how cool would it be if I can snatch this up for a good price? And I think eventually it almost came down to 70% discount, because I did actually, and that's also the reason why I think that they buy these things off boutiques. So I found this in the bag, which is a handwritten card with a euro amount on it, which I am assuming is the price, but if this was not in a boutique, then I am not really sure why it would have this handwritten tag with it. So that's why I have some sort of assumption that they just get bags also from boutiques that may or may not be selling online. But yeah, that's why I think that is sort of their business model, and yeah, it's fine with me because it allows me to buy very pretty bags from them that are legit, but at a very good price. So yeah, this one definitely bought out of FOMO of getting such a good price again on a Ferragamo item. So yeah, that puts it all together. These are for me the reasons why I tend to buy bags out of FOMO, and I only got a couple of examples here because at the end of the day, I think most of the bags I buy, because I'm such a bargain hunter, are a combination of the price, the future availability, and yeah, this Marc Jacobs tote bag that I just wanted to have as soon as possible is really a bit of an exception in that sense, because generally I'm happy to wait for good bargains to come by. And if I'm really not looking for any particular color on a bag, and I know the bag is going to remain in production for a little while, then it could actually take a very long time before I purchase it, because then price is basically the only deciding parameter. So these are my thoughts on the subject. I will be tagging my friends down below to also discuss what bags they have bought out of FOMO and what FOMO means to them. I'm of course also curious to hear from you, so please leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Which bags have you bought out of FOMO? What is your biggest FOMO trigger, so to say? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, consider liking and subscribing, and remember, for now, there's a style in a situation and a taste for everything, so don't judge, wear whatever the bag you like. Until next time, or as we would say in Dutch, doei!